Hello guys, you're most welcome back to Tech Africa TV, your most authoritative Techie Africa channel. What we do on this channel is simple. We try to bring Techie to Africa and to take Africa to Techie. That's basically our point, and that's basically the whole point of this vlog. My name is Abuaji Minta, Mr. Techie Ghana. Since the first vlog, we've had lots and lots of questions. We've had issues about how much really it costs to study in Techie. Today on this session, we're going to unpack the cost and we're going to try to do some comparisons with what pertains in Western Europe and in the United States. So welcome back guys. As we said, we are going to try to look at the real cost of studying in Turkey vis-a-vis what pertains in Europe and the United States. That's what this whole session is really about. Since the first vlog, we made the point in that first vlog that one of the critical reasons why Turkey is should be your preferred destination for study is the cost of study. We made the point in that session that it costs far less to live and study in Turkey as against living and studying in the United States and in Europe. Today we're going to try to look at the facts behind that claim. What is the real statistics? How much does it really cost you in terms of tuition and in terms of living expenses? We're going to try to unpack all of that. So first of all, let's make the clear pronouncement that when it comes to cost of living and cost of study, the fact of the matter is that cost really depends on individual lifestyle and preferences. That's the fact. And so yes, if you live moderate lifestyle, then obviously your cost will be less. But if you like big things, if you like all the fine things in life, then obviously your cost will be much higher. So there is no exact fixed cost for living and studying anywhere in the world. It depends on individual preferences and lifestyle. What we're going to try to do though is to try to assess the averages. We're going to try to assess the average cost of tuition and living in Turkey vis-a-vis what pertains in Western Europe and the United States to try to make a comparison. So that's basically what this is first about. So let's get into the action. Tuition. In Turkey, really, what happens is that the government tries to make an input in costs of tuition fees. And so the government tries to regulate, not necessarily, regulate may be a harsh word, but the government tries to make sure that the universities don't set ridiculous prices to take advantage of people, especially international students. So yes, whilst the government tries to regulate it a little bit, most universities have the chance to set their own prices. And yet, if you assess the real cost of tuition in Turkish universities, you would find that they are far lower than what pertains in Greater Europe and the United States. What you need to know is that just like in many other places in the world, there are state universities. A lot of the universities in Turkey are actually state universities. Then there are foundation non-profit universities, and then there are also private universities. So naturally, the cost of tuition varies between the state universities and the foundational universities, as well as the private universities. So that's the first point you need to know. Also, the cost of tuition also depends on the program that one chooses to pursue. So naturally, if you want to study undergraduate as against graduate courses, then naturally the costs are also different. Again, the faculty that one is pursuing. So if you're going to pursue stuff like medicine, like dentistry, like engineering or law, it tends to be slightly more expensive than the other program. And then also the duration of the education also depends. There are some 2-year university courses and there are also 4-year standard university courses. All of these have inputs in the cost of your tuition fees. So let's look at the cost of tuition in Turkey now. Let's focus now attention on public universities. Averagely, it costs between 100 euros to 4,000 euros to study in public universities across Turkey. I have already made the distinction between things that create the cost, program, faculty, duration of study, all of these factor into. So you can have the low end of about 100 euros to a high end of about 4,000 euros. So that is the average cost of studying in public universities in Turkey. You compare that to what happens in the United States, for instance. US government sources indicate that community colleges, which are normally 2 years, which are state-funded community colleges, tuition fees range around $2,000 to $3,660. These are community 2-year colleges, not 4-year awarding universities. So you see the substantial differences in cost between the two. In Europe, however, the prices range around 3,000 euros to about 10,000 euros for state-funded colleges. These are state-funded 4-year colleges. So you see a significant difference in cost when it comes to even public universities. So let's talk about private universities then. In Turkey, for private universities, the cost of tuition for private universities for international students will range between 200 euros to about 20,000 euros, depending again on the points that I made earlier, the program you are offering, the faculties you are looking at, the duration of stay, and the university of choice. So all of these create their ranges, and so you need to really take your time and identify which school you want to go onto the university's website and check the cost before applying, my friends. This is very, very important. Don't just hear some university and say, great, I want to go to this university because I've heard it's a great university, or my friend goes there, or somebody told me about it, or you heard about it here, and just apply. No, check the fine details. It's very, very, very important. So that is the cost of tuition for private universities in Turkey. Now let's compare that to private universities in the United States and Europe, for instance. So according to US government data sources, the average cost of tuition for private 4-year degree awarding universities is between 30,000 to 50,000 US dollars per annum. So it gives you an idea of really how expensive it is to study in private 4-year degree awarding universities in the United States. Now let's look at Europe as well. In Europe, according to sources on the mastersportal.com, you are hovering around 20,000 euros to about 40 to 45,000 euros for 4-year degree awarding universities in the European area. So you see how significantly expensive it is over what pertains in Turkey. So that is it for private universities in both Turkey and Europe, as well as the United States. The next big issue we are going to look into is the cost of living in Turkey. Obviously, if you're a student, it's not only about tuition fees, you also have to live there, you have to rent a place, you need to entertain yourself, you need to get food, etc. So we need to also look at the cost of living in Turkey as an international student vis-a-vis Europe or the United States. Very, very, very important. By all analysis, you can comfortably live in Turkey as an international student on between 400 to 600 euros per month. Yes, 400 to 600 euros per month. So that is it. You need to understand that in Turkey, the currency of exchange, or the currency of Turkey, is the Turkish lira. Now the Turkish lira, 1 euro is about 9 Turkish liras. 1 euro is about 9 Turkish liras. For our audiences in Ghana, to give you a perspective, 1 lira is about 70 pesos in Ghana, 70 pesos as in Ghana city. So you see that even our currency is slightly higher than the lira as of now, and that's one of the reasons why it's so great to live in Turkey. So it's quite affordable because of the currency. Of course, currencies change, so you need to take note of that, but this is generally the average income or the average amount you need to live comfortably month on month in Turkey. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look at is accommodation, the cost of accommodation in Turkey. Of course, we've always indicated that all of these costs that we are talking about depends on the person's lifestyle and personal preferences. Very, very important, and that is vital when it comes to accommodation, because there are various sources of accommodation one can take advantage of. You can take advantage of universities' dormitories, which are available, particularly if it's state-funded universities, then their costs are generally much lower. Or you can rent your own apartment, and which obviously comes with more amenities and more comfort, but obviously more at a higher price. So let's look at the breakdown. I'd like to really check the data here so that I'm making sure that I'm giving you the correct information. So when it comes to dormitories for state universities, the dormitories range from 24 euros to 38 euros per month. 24 euros to 38 euros per month. For private dormitories, you're talking about 40 euros to 80 euros per month. 40 euros to 80 euros per month. And if you want to rent a flat, you're looking at between 68 to 238 euros, depending on the location and of course the facilities you want in the flat. So that is it for the accommodation. Very important that you take note of that. Food, that's the next important cost you should look at. Obviously, you have to eat all the time. Again, personal preferences come into play. Most university cafeterias offer good quality meals 2-3 times a day, and you can take advantage of that. That costs you under €1 per meal. Yes, so that's very affordable. But of course, from every now and then, you may want to take advantage of some of the excellent restaurant and fine dining that is on offer across the length and breadth of Turkey. Naturally, that will set you back a little bit more, so you need to take advantage of that. That's the information you need to know on food. Transport, very important. A lot of students live a little further away from the university, so you need to transport yourself in and out of school all the time. So transport is very, very important. Now, the best way to make sure you monitor your transport cost is to get the monthly transport pass. Now, normally when I'm in Turkey, that's what I get, so if you have a monthly transport pass, you can use it in the buses, you can use it in the metro, you can use it on ferries, etc. You pay once a month, and currently it is €27. So for €27 per month, you can literally transport yourself anywhere, within the vicinity of your university, or even across the length and breadth of town, wherever you find yourself in Turkey. So that is the best way to transport yourself if you're a student. It really saves a lot of cost. Obviously, if you are in school, there are other costs. For example, you may have to buy books, you may have to buy teaching and learning materials, you may want to entertain yourself, going to the cinema and a few other things. All of those things come with some extra cost. And so, as I indicated earlier, you need to budget between €400 to €600 a month. And if you're an average Joe, that should be able to take care of you pretty well. Our friends in US and in Europe who have stopped studying, they went there, they are studying, they pay their tuition, but the cost of living is so high that most of them have stopped studying and they are doing all kinds of work. So you may want to do your checks. You may want to be sure what you're getting yourself into, and be sure that you get the budget to be able to handle it. Otherwise this studying abroad thing can become a nightmare, guys. It can become an absolute nightmare. So you want to do your checks to be sure you're comfortable to have the budget. But I'm sure that with the picture that I've painted, it's quite clear the disparity between tuition fees and cost of living in Turkey and the tuition fees and cost of studying in Europe and the United States. It is no wonder then that the number of foreign students in Turkey is ballooning year on year. Lots and lots of people are discovering Turkey and are making it a center for their higher education. So you may want to check, you want to look it out, you may want to check out Turkey, you may want to check out Turkish universities, and I'm sure you will be able to make a good decision. Alright guys, so that's it. I hope you found the information helpful. You may want to do all the checks again for yourself, but I hope that you found the information we provided as helpful as possible. As always, you can get in touch with us if you want some specific help or information, and we'll be happy to support you. Again guys, I'm reminding you, you ought to subscribe, you ought to like, and importantly, share with others who are similar condition as you. If you find that the information we are providing here can also be helpful to others, you may want to share. So we are waiting to hear from you. We'll be happy to take your questions or queries, and we'll be happy to respond to them. Keep subscribing, and see you in the next vlog.